Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is John Monarch, and I'm here with Casey Larkin, and we are set to talk about CHAINge, which is a conference that comes to us from ASCM, which you're likely familiar with. So we wanted to talk about supply chains, what it means, and how sponsors and people participating in the event are going to really benefit from it. So I've been in the supply chain space for quite a while now. Casey has as well. We come from varied backgrounds, but we're working with ASCM and CHAINge to make sure that this is a must-see event and a must-attend event. You're probably familiar with ASCM. They've got a 68-year history now, formerly called APICS, which you're also likely familiar with from the certification programs. Some of the feedback that was received for many years with ASCM Connect, which many of you have attended, was that it's a great conference. It's an educational experience that is basically like no other. You don't feel like you're getting pitched every time you take a few footsteps or every 2 minutes, or that all of the content is not centered around trying to sell you a subscription software or freight forwarding service or something along those lines. It's actually valuable content where supply chain executives, leaders, and operators alike can come and learn something new and how to better their operations. So what we did was ASCM Connect has become CHAINge now. And the reason for that is that with all the turmoil going on in everything from tariffs to supply chain chaos to technological advancements, we wanted to make sure that it really reflected what the environment was becoming in the supply chain. So we wanted to introduce that, and also we'll kick it off by discussing CHAINge Europe, which is going to be going on in June in Belgium, in Brussels, Belgium specifically, along with that CHAINge North America in Columbus, Ohio. So I'll hand it over to Casey here for a second. We wanted to talk about what's going on with CHAINge in Europe, and also what it's going to look like, who our featured speakers are, and how sponsors and brands can get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, John. I think you hit the nail on the head there. Really unique opportunity here for folks within supply chain to put their heads together and noodle through the cornucopia of issues, right? That it seems like people in supply chain are dealing with these days, whether that's trying to figure out how to leverage AI or how to deal with these new tariffs that seem to be changing from one day to the next. Kind of felt like there was a lack of opportunities for leaders in supply chain to put their heads together and try to solve for specific problems, right, that they're dealing with, and problems that you could probably have a better idea how to solve or address when dealing with your peers, right, other people dealing with similar issues. So to that end, we've got 5 core areas of focus for CHAINge Europe, and we'll be playing on a lot of the same themes in Columbus this September. But a lot going on as pertains to regulations, innovation, and how to best collaborate, how to leverage talent, all while trying to maintain sustainability goals. So I have some great keynotes and panels to that effect, as well as some roundtable workshops where attendees get to dive in and solve for specific problems that they may be dealing with that in their kind of day-to-day lives, right? Everything from how to create a resilient supply chain. Really excited to have Jason Ashton, the moderator from More Belgium, tuning in to help us kind of facilitate that conversation. Another great opportunity here for folks to get involved with our moderator, Dr. Emmanuel. I can't pronounce that one, but he's a senior lecturer in operations and supply chain management from Southampton Solent University. But to that end, right, it's really more of a collaborative type of environment. And I think from a sponsor perspective, right, compared to some of the other supply chain conferences, this really will be a strong audience of supply chain professionals, as well as a truly kind of collaborative environment where folks feel comfortable talking to you, and you get an opportunity to sponsor these roundtables and effectively have a focus group or something to that effect with your current or prospective customers, right? Figure out where the areas of opportunity are for them in the near term, as well as start to noodle about, what are the products, right, or features you guys might want to be providing to help solve for, um, supply chains 5 or 10 years from now, right? We've got a number of great speakers. One of them, really renowned futurist. So thinking about the future, how things are changing, um, how we can deal with those problems together. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the gist of what changes and how it may be different from other events and valuable from a sponsorship or an attendee perspective.
And innovation's a hot topic because it's been seemingly moving faster than ever now, right? Like just today, OpenAI announced brand new models that are already better than ones that were just released like a week ago, right? So that's where things are moving quickly, and it comes down to how can supply chain leaders effectively utilize that well in practice, right? So like we can talk about this in theory all we want, but how do we actually implement these things? And along with that, how do policymakers, because we do have members of former MEPs and people from the European Commission that will be in attendance and speaking. How do we not hold back the progress of innovation while also protecting the regular people when it comes to that, actually? So Anastasia Lyrie she's a senior policy advisor for the American Chamber of Commerce in the EU. She's formerly with the European Commission. So that's on the policy side of things. And then Casey also mentioned earlier that we have, Professor Henrik von Schiele, who comes to us from he's the creator or the founding father, basically, of the Industry 4.0 or the fourth industrial revolution. So he's worked with the World Economic Forum to take these kind of ideas and make them into a cohesive product, essentially moving forward. So that way it's, where leaders in these manufacturing and in pharmaceuticals and in supply chain and logistics are able to actually take these ideas and put them into practice. And that's what we wanted to do. So when sponsors come together for this, it's an opportunity to more than just, try to get customers, right? It's an opportunity to become a thought leader. It's an opportunity to lead the discussion on at these roundtables that we'll be having, and a lot of these talks with key policymakers, and again, still your ideal customers in play there as well. So it's making sure that you are mentioned whenever the lead of the conversation comes up, or like whenever people are trying to talk about, well, who's an innovative company that's actively trying to push this space forward, and then we're making sure that that's you, basically.
Yep, absolutely. Definitely a unique opportunity from that perspective.
So our European event is a more, I would say, focused one on the actual, like the roundtables and the collaborative piece and the networking. And we still have a larger version of that with the North American one. So in North America, again, this was formerly ASCM Connect. ASCM Connect has always had multiple thousands of people attending. It's good for continuing education when it comes to your APIC certificates. But along with that, for brands and sponsors, it's great for, everything from networking to recruiting. So you're looking at some of the best operators in the space, the most, that have put towards their education with credentials, that are in attendance for this event, to make sure that they are staying on top of changing technologies and changing matters in the supply chain. And especially as quickly as things seem to turn on a dime right now, one day the tariffs are on, one day they're off, one day they're changed. It's a very important to meet face to face for a lot of these types of critical events. So we are in Columbus, Ohio for CHAINge North America in September. And it's a fashion production capital in the U.S. It's education with Ohio State University. Intel is building a facility there currently as well. So it is definitely a hub for a lot of this, and we want to make sure that sponsors and brands that are participating are getting the most out of it. So we want to keep an open line of communication with you as well. And as a part of the process here, it's making sure that you're getting put in the right roundtables for your business and in front of the right people. So we want to make sure that that's a good ongoing effort between all of us.
Yeah, we certainly do. And I know that there's a lot of great technology out there these days coming online. Whether that's agentic AI, I saw a cool one today for procurement and sourcing that got some funding from Dynamo Ventures, who I know has backed some great supply chain technologies in the past. And there are a number of others out there that help with demand forecasting and other forward-looking uses of AI. But yeah, that's the topic. That's the focus of the conference, right? Everything from AI to trade wars and nearshoring. So a lot of great opportunities, I think, to be a part of the conversation.
And for startups especially. So we have rapid fire demos that will be taking place. So you'll be able to show off your products to not only potential operators, but buyers as well. And on top of that, venture capitalists will be in attendance at CHAINge North America, especially. So that's something that if you're looking at getting more exposure for your startup, especially if you're, call it a seed stage, Series A, along those lines, maybe even pre-seed. If you've got a demo, we want to see it. So we want to make sure that you get in front of the right audience. There will be judging for that, and we're going to make sure that we're going to get some press around the winners of this. So it's a very Shark Tank style event. So we want to make sure that your startups are really showing off your best work there. So we'd love to have you a part of it.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool opportunity to showcase your technology in front of an audience of your ideal users, and a great opportunity to win an award from them as well as the sharks that we'll have in the tank. And yeah, excited to be building out a panel full of judges, or sharks, if you will, that do like to invest in supply chain technologies.
And that was some of the feedback that we had heard previously, is that a lot of people felt that many of these conferences were geared towards the legacy Fortune 500 players, the big ones. We want to make sure that we're including startups, especially in the conversation here, because many times, especially startups can move so much quicker when it comes to innovating. Oftentimes these Fortune 500s just have to buy the companies out to be innovative. So it's getting startups involved, getting their ideas in the room, and making sure that everyone has a seat at this table to really push the industry forward.
Certainly, that is the idea. Excited about the innovation showcase, and excited about the way that we have the booths and the exhibit halls set up throughout the corridor. Right. Something that's really nice is there's no exhibit hall. Right. You're not waiting for the exhibit hall to open for your opportunity to get a couple of seconds with the big brands that are walking through. The booths are actually situated throughout the corridors and high traffic areas, conducive to having as many open, honest conversations with these folks as possible. Another thing that's nice, right? You can leave your booth at home, and everybody having the same booth and the same aesthetic, look, and feel, helps level that playing field for you, right? So if some big Fortune 500 is right down the street, it's not like their booth's going to be that much bigger than yours. Everybody's got an opportunity here to flag folks down and see if they can't generate some meaningful relationships.
And that's probably one of the best things that we've heard from sponsors that have signed on, is that, oh, thank God I don't have to bring my booth with. We don't have to worry about setting it up. We don't have to pay someone to set it up additionally. It's all just included in what we're doing for sponsorships and exhibitors here. So it's all integrated in with the entire experience. So like Casey said, it's going to be something that it feels much more natural than like, here's this sectioned off exhibit hall that you can take or leave essentially, and you're going to run the gauntlet of pitches and all that type of stuff. But this is actually more of a cohesive kind of experience that goes on along with like the talks and with the lunches and the roundtables and all that kind of integrated throughout.
Definitely. Yeah. That's that's the goal with this layout, is to create that type of environment where there's not hunters and prey, but vendors and attendees, right, have a better experience because it's set up in such a fashion that just facilitates more interaction.
And of course, the networking aspect. We want to make sure that that's fostered and facilitated throughout. So, of course, we're doing an after hours party on the final day. There's going to be, it's what people typically enjoy. It's going to be like food and drinks and mingling, and actually have the opportunity to network. It's not just going to be blasting a ton of crazy music where you can't hear each other necessarily, but it will be a lot of fun. So it's going to be something that we want to make sure that everyone is getting the most out of the networking side of it as well.
Certainly. Yeah. It's going to be a great party. Lots of opportunities to, learn more about the problems that folks in supply chain are dealing with, and, see if maybe, your solution is something that might be able to help them supply chain a little bit more easily.
So really, if you're looking at being a part of a conference like this, we'd love to have you reach out. You can shoot us a message here on LinkedIn or email us. You can email Casey. It's casey.l@pesti, PESTI.io, for sponsorship information and for exhibiting information. So that way we can make sure that you're getting the booth location you want, getting the experience you want, and getting really the most out of both Europe and North America. And a reminder that Europe is in Brussels in June, and North America is in Columbus, Ohio, in September.
That's exactly right, John. Yes, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, email is casey.l@pesti.io. I'll be happy to noodle with you and figure out, package that makes the most sense for you. Do have some more canned, squared away type of packages, but always happy to get flexible with folks, and I'd love to hear any crazy ideas that anybody has. If there are any roundtables that we haven't planned for, or other topics of discussion you guys would like to try and facilitate here with this audience, be more than happy to hear you out and see what we can or can't do for you.
And be sure to check out our website, CHAINge.event. .events, I believe, actually. CHAINge.events, CHAINGE.events. And that's where you can read about who our speakers are, get more information, reach out to us directly about sponsorships, as well as kind of learn more about CHAINge in general, and even just register if you're looking at attending for the first time potentially, and you want to learn more about sponsoring maybe next year, for instance. Then it's a great way to come on out, experience the event, and be a part of it.
Amen to that. Anything else we want to hit on here, John? I think touched on most of what I would like to let folks know about.
Yeah, I think we're good. We covered quite a bit. We'd love to, like you said, reach out to us if you're interested in exhibiting, sponsoring, being a part, speaking, being a part of a roundtable session at Europe or North America, and how we can push supply chains forward.
Please do.